Welcome to the Digital Glue Podcast. These digital untangling episodes are brought to you by Crystal Kordalchuk, CEO and founder of Virtually Untangled. This podcast is for entrepreneurs who need untangling from the day-to-day tasks in their business. These virtual world untanglers never underestimate the power of a good idea. And if that sounds like a lofty goal, well, it is. A decade ago, Virtually Untangled was founded with the goal of creating meaningful digital experiences that connect with people. Crystal and her team of honorary untanglers are now providing business owners just like you the opportunity to own your story and share it with the world. So, every Tuesday morning, she'll be dropping a new episode that will help you think big and dream even bigger. Let's dive into today's episode.
During last week's Untangling episode, we talked about the new era of mental health, and we want to piggyback off that. Well, today, solely focusing on the mental health of those living the creative life. Did you know that the average person has over 50,000 thoughts in just a single day? Most people tend to think of creativity in the realm of the arts, such as designing, writing, painting, sculpting, or composing original works. But that's a pretty limited definition of the term. That's besides the point, and perhaps a topic for another day. As a creative individual, I find that my mental health directly impacts my life in an overwhelming number of ways. When I'm not feeling my best, my ability to work, come up with originally creative ideas, prioritize, and maintain balance all tend to suffer. Not to mention the quality of my work suffers. And since a large part of my identity is tied to my creative output, things can quickly spiral out of control. As someone who makes a living from creativity, I cannot afford to go down that path. Not now, not ever. But of course, everyone has bad days here and there. But I'm talking about spending weeks or even months in a state of anxiety, languish, boredom, and indifference, unable to find even an ounce of motivation or inspiration to do all the things that used to once bring you joy. This was something I found many in my niche dealing with during those awful pandemic lockdown days. Sadly, the nature of the artistic industry, with its economic precarity, critiques, and winner-takes-all reward structure, can contribute to a heck of a lot of anxiety, depression, isolation, and stress. Across the world, there is a plethora of people still working from home and self-isolating, sometimes in complete solitude. And this solitary nature of freelance work pre- and post-pandemic is now something that many of us are facing. And the strains of that work can have a detrimental effect on your mental health. The fact is, staying productive and motivated can be a huge challenge when you're faced with a crisis. A pandemic is a very stressful event, and it's normal to feel some stress and anxiety, and that stress can be amplified by your work or home environment while you're social distancing from others. For hundreds of years, we've oddly accepted the belief that creativity is connected to the burden of an unsound mind. Countless members of the creative industry have been burning out and, in the most tragic of cases, taken their own lives because of the way the industry has often functioned, quickly, demanding, and stressfully, which has left little room for some of the most admirable talents to find peace during the creative process, let alone while they're enduring the taxing aspects of entrepreneurship and in recent events with the global pandemic. But thanks to the dismantling of discomfort around discussing mental health issues, it's become less taboo to talk about these troubles as we creatives have been experiencing alongside everyone else. I feel that the link between mental health and creativity is ever so poorly understood. So today, I want to keep things short and light in hopes to inspire your own pursuit of creativity, calm, and clarity with 12 tips on how you can better manage, cope with, and nurture your mental health. Number 1, manage your expectations. Number 2, accept what you can and cannot control. Number 3, learn the art of saying no by setting boundaries. Number 4, acknowledge and joyfully celebrate your wins. Number 5, create bounce back protocols for your losses. Number 6, learn how to take care of your negative emotions. Number 7, learn how to get and stay organized. Number 8, take care of yourself. get some rest, or dance it out. Number 9, use a mindfulness app like Calm or Headspace. Number 10, find a community of like-minded individuals. Number 11, do something else besides creative work. And last but not least, number 12, learn how to separate yourself from your creativity. And most important of all, I'm sneaking in a number 13 here, challenge the idea that prioritizing one's mental health and well-being somehow dims creativity. This is far from the truth. There is a lot of joy that can be found living a creative life. After all, that's why we do it in the first place. When that dreaded tunnel vision sets in, it's super easy to lose sight of the creative process and instead focus on a finished product. So it's ever so important to constantly remind yourself of your progress, looking at where you were before and how far you come, while of course, daydreaming of where you want to go to next. Sometimes giving yourself that well-deserved pat on the back goes a long way. Every day is going to be different, and some days you just simply will not have the drive to do anything, and that's okay. We just need to remember that it's okay to not be okay all the time. So when you do have some time for yourself or need a solid break, think of the long-awaited projects you've wanted to explore. Maybe it's finally time to start that podcast you've been putting off, or that book you've had in the back of your brain. Or maybe you can simply catch up on your business administration and organization for the future. Whatever your dreams and goals are, don't let your creativity hinder. And keep believing in yourself. Stay tuned for next week's Digital Glue Untangling episode as a side twist of today's, where we'll be talking about 10 tips for dealing with creative burnout.
And that's a wrap. Virtually Untangled is a full-service business, which means they've got you covered on design and content right through to digital and organization. You'll form a long-lasting relationship with them, as collaboration is central to everything they do. Now it's time to seize the moment and become inbox friends. It's easy to do. Just hop on over to virtuallyuntangled.com or their Facebook page to opt in and receive instant access to the most inspirational ride of your life. So what are you waiting for? Become inbox friends with VU. Until the next episode, keep untangling.